Switching gears a little bit, NCAA, they talked about discussing paying players. Just any statement about that you'd like to say?
Well, I just saw before I came over here the Board of Governors statement that they put out today, and obviously name, image, and likeness is an agenda item that's going to continue to be talked about. We're seeing more and more state legislation. I was with Commissioner Bowlesby yesterday. He's on the Name, Image, and Likeness Working Group at the NCAA. I believe we'll see their first report coming out the first part of November. And a lot of that was similar to what we saw in the Board of Governors announcement today, that, name, image, and likeness is a complex issue, but it's something that is coming within college athletics. We're not sure we can define it yet, but we're following the work that's being done. I look forward to the report coming from the working group. So just saw the Board of Governors statement 20 minutes before this press conference, and we'll continue to follow that work.
What's your position, just generally speaking, on athletes being able to be compensated for naming image and likeness?
Well, I think I want to be very careful in, the college athletic experience. I do not believe that we will get to the place where we are compensating student athletes for their involvement into college athletics. We're not professional sports, and I don't think we should get there. But I am a strong supporter that I believe student athletes should have the same rights as every student has on our campus. And right now, while student athletes can have their own business, they can't use their name, image, or likeness to promote that business. And I don't necessarily think that's right. My thought process goes back to a few years ago when Nick Shimonek was on campus. Nick had his own furniture restoration business, but he could not use his name, image, or likeness to promote his business. And I forget what he called it. But any other student on campus could have used their name to promote their furniture restoration business. I don't think that was fair to Nick or any other student athletes. Same way I think our student athletes should be able to give lessons and benefit from that. And they can do that right now, but they can't use their name, image, and likeness to promote that. I think what we've got to be careful in is making sure that there are regulatory measures that try to keep as much integrity and parameters around the recruiting aspect of this as we can. How do you do that? I don't know. That will be the working group and what we'll have to figure out. So I'm in support of our student athletes having opportunities to capitalize just like every student on this campus does. And I think we will get to that point.
So basically Nick could not advertise his business while he was at Tech football.
That's correct. Or he would lose his eligibility to participate.
On a scale of this is step 1 or 2 of 100 steps, how far would you actually say this is in that comparison for getting to that point where you're paying the athletes and being able to do that aspect of it?
Well, again, I don't think we as a university or higher education will pay student athletes. I think it will be, again, name, image, and likeness sponsorship. So, in the future, will United Supermarkets decide to not invest so much into Tech athletics for their sponsorship, but choose to have a student athlete as a sponsor for their grocery stores and their product. With that comes a lot of other issues. Will student athletes be taxed on that revenue, that sponsorship revenue that comes from a sponsorship partner? Is Texas Tech University going to charge them with a licensing fee for use of the double T mark? Any other sponsor that uses the double T or our marks has to pay a royalty charge for the use of that mark. Are we going to make our student athletes do that? So it's a very complex issue. I do believe that we will get to the point where student athletes have the same rights as all students on campus. If I remember reading a few minutes ago that the Board of Governors of the NCAA today said that they want something in place by the year 2022. So we're in the horse is out of the barn, so to speak, but it's going to move quickly over the next couple of years to get to the space that I don't think anybody can tell you what it's going to look like. And then when you get all the states involved in passing legislation, that'll be another component to follow as well. So we're monitoring it, we're following it, and we'll continue to be as proactive in this space as we can be.
What's your A lot of the general public has expressed concern that this will open the door to athletic departments being able to, with bad ethics, buy recruits, by enabling them to make above market value for their name, image, and likeness.
Yeah, again, I think that's a big component of this, and one that the working group is really going to have to spend some time on. And how do you put up regulatory measures around sponsorship opportunities and name, image, and likeness so that it doesn't creep in to the recruiting process? Can that be done? I hope so. How do you do that? I don't know standing here today, but I do know that that is an active agenda item with the NCAA name, image, and likeness working group. So, Don, we're going to have to find a way to best protect the integrity of the recruiting process. How you do that is going to take a lot of discussion and conversation and teamwork within the industry to figure that piece out.